The Europa League is back, baby. This is your match day 1 review. So, as I said, Europa League is back. Arsenal and Chelsea are the British interests, as well as Celtic and Rangers in the Europa League today. And Arsenal stole the headlines, really, with their win today against Vorskla. Many of you guys probably wouldn't even know who they are before Arsenal played them tonight. Vorskla. They're a team in the Ukrainian league, and really it showed today. There was definitely a difference in class between Arsenal and Vorskla today. Arsenal dominated the first half an hour of the game, really, without getting a goal and without really testing the goalkeeper as well. At one stage, you kind of thought, was this going to be an afternoon or an evening where Arsenal find it difficult to get any goals in the game? But in the end, they did. And it started off with Aubameyang, a great finish from him after a good work rate and a good run from Mkhitaryan, and then a great ball in from Iwobi. Aubameyang started the goal scoring for Arsenal. Gotten off to a good start. And then Danny Welbeck made it 2. Obviously, this is one or two players are trying to impress Emery tonight. And Welbeck, one of those players, he made it 2. Great header after a good ball in from Mkhitaryan. And today we saw quite a few, debuts and starts. And today one of them was for Bernd Leno in goal for Arsenal today. And Torreira, who looked quite good in the middle of the park for Arsenal, just keeping the ball moving and keeping the play flowing. So I think Emery would be like to see that. He did carry a knock in the first half, so I wonder whether or not he'll be back in terms of the Premier League game this weekend against Everton. But then more into the second half, Aubameyang made it 3. A brilliant move and a brilliant goal from him, really. Kind of cut in and curled it in Thierry Henry-like. If you like, bottom corner around the goalkeeper, and that was after he's had an earlier shot hit the post. Another Thierry Henry-like effort, just curling it around, hitting the post. So Aubameyang really given the opportunity today to get some goals on the score sheet. He only got 1 goal before today. He's got 2, takes his tally up to 3 for the season. And I think Emery's got a bit of a decision here, with obviously Lacazette being playing down the middle for the past couple of games. It means that Aubameyang's strike force is slightly limited. I mean, he did get the second goal today from coming in from the left-hand side, but you just get the feeling that his best position is also up front. So whether that means Lacazette does have to stay on the bench, or whether that means maybe Arsenal have to go to a 2 up front as a 3, because I feel like Aubameyang, as good as he is on the left wing, he's best up front. He's best where he's attacking the ball and trying to get the goals for Arsenal at the top of the team, really. And it duly proved today with his 2 goals. He came off and Mesut Ozil came on, and Mesut Ozil got the goal to make it 4 for Arsenal. It was a good little run from Lichtsteiner, seen by Socrates. He fed him of a great ball in. Lichtsteiner clips it over the goalkeeper, and Mesut Ozil with a cool finish past a couple of the defenders on the line to make it 4-0 Arsenal. And at that stage, we're thinking, this is it, 4-0, cruising through. Good little goal difference as well going into the next game. But no, it wasn't to be. There was a couple of goals pulled back from Vorskla. This one, the first one, which made it 4-1 to the Ukrainian side. It was a little bit of a mistake from Lichtsteiner. The ball sort of fell down and he tried to control it, got his legs sort of muffled up a bit, and it was Chesnikov with a goal for Vorskla, which made it 4-1. And okay, at that stage, Arsenal, you're thinking, okay, see that out, 4-1. But no, another goal came through. This was Sharpa with the goal. Kind of another great finish past Leno. Nothing Leno could do, really. I know it was his debut, probably wanted to keep a clean sheet, but both goals are brilliant. I don't think there's anything the keeper could have done about that. So that made it 4-2. And overall, a good result for Arsenal to start off the Europa League campaign. Good performances from Guendouzi as well when he came on. Another one that's really trying to impress Emery and keep his place in the starting lineup. He's obviously keeps Torreira at the team at the moment. He came on and he done himself no harm today. He came on and was brilliant in the middle of the park. and also a day before Emil Smith-Rowe in the Europa League. He looked good as well, coming on off the bench. Moving on to a couple of other games then. Well, Chelsea got their Europa League campaign to a win. Only a 1-0 win against PAOK today. It was you would expect Chelsea to really wrap up the scoreline there, but it was a Willian finish after a Ross Barkley ball in the 7th minute, which was the only goal of the game. And it doesn't tell the full story because Chelsea absolutely dominated the possession and the play in that game. Created loads of chances. Morata missed a chance. Pedro squirming a couple of chances wide as well. Keeper made a couple of decent saves. But I guess Chelsea will be happy with that. A 1-0 victory sends them... starts off the Europa League campaign with a win, so they'll be happy about that. But yeah, as I said, it should have been more, could have been a lot more. Morata, what are Chelsea fans going to be making of him? Another performance without a goal, and in this kind of game, same thing we're saying with people like Welbeck and Morata. If you're going to get into the team, you got to take your chances and play. And this is probably going to be the games when you're going to get chances now. Giroud's starting to start for Chelsea in the Premier League, so Morata has to get on the score sheet for me against in these competitions, and at the moment he failed to do so. Again today, looked a bit sluggish coming off the pitch, like he was not happy with his performance today, and he should be, because it was quite disappointing from him today. But as I said, Willian got the goal. There was no Hazard in the Chelsea squad today, but they came out with a 1-0 victory. Now a couple of other British interests today. Steven Gerrard took his Rangers side to Villarreal, and they came away with a point in Spain. So that would be a brilliant result for Steven Gerrard. He's happy with that, especially after they went 1-0 down in like the first 45 seconds. Bacca with a brilliant shot. They pulled it back to 1-1. But then 2 minutes later, Gerrard scored for Villarreal to make it 2-1. But and then Scott Arfield, the former Burnley player, rescued a point for Rangers, and so Gerrard will be definitely happy with that. They've obviously got to go to the home ground next, and they'll be trying to get 3 points over there to try and get Rangers through to the last 32 of the Europa League. Also, Celtic were in action today. They scraped a 1-0 win at home to Rosenborg. It looked like for the majority of the game it was going to end in 0-0. A disappointing performance overall. But then Griffiths came up with a late winner for Celtic. Brendan Rodgers, of course, will be delighted with that. They needed to really get the 3 points played at home in the Europa League. You got to really win your home game, especially Celtic are in a very, very tough group. So if they're going to get out of that, they need to at least be winning their home games. And the other game in that group was the battle of the Red Bulls, really, is Leipzig against Salzburg. And Salzburg came out victorious. They dominated the early proceedings, got the first 2 early goals. Leipzig pulled 2 back, but a late goal for Salzburg saw them take the victory in that group. And obviously Celtic now have to play Leipzig and Salzburg next. So really, really good result for Brendan Rodgers and Celtic in the end. And a good week in Europa League for the British sides as well. Probably one of the biggest performances of the night in terms of overall in Europa League. Sevilla beating Standard Liège 5-1 in their game. So they'll be happy with that. Obviously, that's Emery's former club, who he won 3 back-to-back Europa Leagues with. And obviously, he'll be looking to win his 4th, which will be a record of the Europa Leagues and UEFA Cups if he does get his 4th trophy with Arsenal this season. And AC Milan got a victory with 1-0. One of the other big games in Europa League. Higuain, moving from Juve to AC Milan, gets the goal for AC, which gives them a victory in late procedures in their game. So that's it. That wraps up the Europa League review. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe to Neeks Sports, and we'll be seeing you soon.